at whatever we are doing. So without wasting much of our time, we want to say every one of us, good day to you all, wherever you are joining from. Some are in the morning, some in the afternoon, in the evening. You are all welcome to the last webinar for the year 2024. And I believe that today's webinar is going to be one of the superb ones you've ever received. You will see we have a lot of resources in the house. And also, like I told you, feel free to share your mind, feel free to share your own experience. It will help us to navigate our research, the trend, the transformation in 2025. So join me as I welcome one of our resource person, a person of Dr. Ojodoma Chandu. He's from Teesside University, UK, and is also a leader, a lead coordinator in for the undergraduate program in chemistry in the same university. He has a wealth of knowledge when it comes to research and transformation and some other area, especially for early researcher and coming up, upcoming like us, somebody like me now. We are just upcoming. So over to you, sir, for profile.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Ke, for the kind introduction, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you all. It's a pleasure to actually talk to us today, just to share a bit of ideas and some over the years personal experience on the journey to research leadership. And I myself still transitioning from that early career stage to the mid-career stage of my research career. And I just thought it wise that within the theme of this talk, of this seminar this morning or this afternoon, wherever you may be, we can look at some key ideas that would be a propelling there'll be a couple of propelling factors towards pathways for innovation and leadership. So, okay, so I would like to share with you the objectives of my talk this morning. And the whole idea, when we had this discussion with the coordinator of the researcher group, was just to bring up some certain key ideas that would inspire young researchers, early to mid-career researchers, and how in the new year, the incoming new year, how we can begin to look at activities or things that would actually propel us towards the leadership roles in our various fields. And also to provide a couple of tips that would provide actionable steps to professional growth and networking. A lot of us, and of course, obviously, we're doing a lot of many of these things that would be mentioned here. But then I think there'll be one or two things that might actually not have occurred to lots of us, and we can then begin to incorporate them consciously into our research journey, into our academic lives. So also to highlight some of the importance of mentorship. So sometimes just we'll look at the whole idea around mentorship and how that benefits our future career and the prospects. Then also, very importantly, to encourage resilience and adaptability, which is where the future of research is. What are the new trends? What are the emerging trends? And as we know, there's a paradigm shift in research landscape, and therefore we must keep up with the trend in order to succeed as academics and researchers. So under this theme, I'd like to look at empowerment. I'd like to term it some key factors or some research empowerment strategy. And one of the key factors, excuse me, is building a professional brand, which means defining your unique identity within the research community. And that's very important because you must be known for being an ardent researcher, you must be known to be probing certain specific fields, trying to solve specific problem within your research um, activities. So we do not want a situation. What you do not want is when someone says, "What is your research field?" or "What is your research focus?" and you're saying, "Well, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this." Yes, you can bring a lot of things together, but the focus, your research, all your research activity must be focused, must be geared towards establishing, towards carving a niche for yourself in a specific field. One of the ways to look at this is to uh, put all your research activities together, all your research knowledge into solving a very, very important one or two key societal problems, and that's when you can say you're defining your research. Then also mentorship, and as we know, it's not easy to carve a niche for yourself. You need to be guided by others, those that have taken the same path that you're trying to journey through. So therefore, mentorship is a very vital point of empowerment in terms of early to mid-career research progression, networking, and that's a no-brainer in terms of moving forward, moving ahead, and flowing with the trends, leadership development, and also very importantly for me, is the research innovation, and that's also connects to building your own professional brands. Okay. So another thing that I would like us to also understand is the fact which ties to building your professional brand is how you can establish your research identity. So it's essentially the same thing. Building your professional brand or building your professional profile is also the same thing as establishing your research identity. So which means, again, finding a unique research niche and also aligning your research work with societal needs, and also you become a leader, you become an emerging leader, you become a national leader, you become an international and global leader, and therefore you create the opportunity for visibility of your research work, of your knowledge. And also, very importantly, is the idea of the fact that we need to focus on producing high quality research that can translate into high quality publications, rather than just focusing on just doing everything just to get publications out there. Of course, this can be argued back and forth, but at least the quality over quantity argument, it's quite clear, where the quality of your work, your research prowess, it's more measured in terms of quality, much more over quantity. All right. How do you establish your research identity? Okay, so well, I mean, this is some of the things that I've done in the past, in a couple of years, having had the opportunity to work in different countries as a research fellow in France, Japan, South Africa, and in the UK, and eventually uh, building my own research group and being a research leader here at Teesside University. So one of the things that I've prioritized over the years of my research fellowships, was breaking or incorporating new research horizons in every fellowship that I've undertaken, new knowledge, and also thinking about knowledge transfer. So that's very, very important. So what I've done, or what the general idea, the general scope is, you're meeting with different research group, or you should be thinking of how you can come up with new research knowledge that still ties in with your existing and previous research experience. So which means essentially expanding your knowledge. And that means each postdoctoral opportunity, each academic opportunity or position should be an opportunity for you to expand your knowledge, and also seeking knowledge transfer, as well as gaining some hands-on experience yourself. Then also, very importantly as well, is the interdisciplinary networking and collaboration. So for instance, myself as a chemist trained, I've had the opportunity of working with a lot of biologists that has made me to be able to apply my knowledge in chemical science and materials and nano materials into application and the biological aspects of research. And I've also had the privilege of working with mathematicians, physicists, where I've also tried to look at how computational modeling, how a lot of simulations could also help my personal research. So therefore, and in order for you to achieve these things, you must be thinking about new knowledge. You must be thinking about breaking new research horizon. And that's where interdisciplinarity of your future research thinking should come in, and also collaboration. So in the midst of that, we should be also looking at all this would also bring together some opportunity to develop transferable skills and also impact. So what is also very important as well in carving your research identity is also following up with how you communicate your research to the international community, to the local community, and this could come in form of presentations and conferences, publication output plan. One of the things that I've done over the years is just to make sure that I have active collaborations where I'm collaborating actively, contributing to developing other people's research in terms of discussions of their ongoing research, and also making sure that we have some synergistic output based on my expertise and also their expertise. Then another opportunity, another things that we often overlook as researchers is to think that the fact that, well, our job is just to do research, publish papers, and teach students. No, we also have a way as researchers to also carve a niche in the industry, in a cross-sectorial partnership where you're moving from the academia to, well, you're working with other people in other fields, governmental agencies, industries, companies, and all that. And also there could be entrepreneurial opportunities whereby some of our research, a lot of us have done a lot of research that are just lying there and it's not being primed up for any future applications. And that's where a patent, intellectual transfer, and all those things, working with companies and also searching for companies that could use it. It could be a little bit of device that you've developed. It could be a revision or the enhancement of a method that you've sort of worked on or that you're thinking. And this could actually transform into some potential entrepreneurship opportunities. All right. So the other thing I'd also like to then emphasize, which also ties back into creating your having your research identity, profile building, and all of that. It goes back to everything goes back to profile building, visibility, essentially. And how do we then gain that visibility? And I've put together some of these activities that could be of very, very, very important. So we're talking about when you want to talk about the visibility of your research and also your development in terms of the research field and preparing yourself for the future, you'd see that there's the key things that you have to take into consideration, which is multidisciplinary and cross-sectoral partnerships. So with the multidisciplinarity, you must consider the ideas to work with other people that are not in your field. And as you know, most of these fields, everything we do, the research, the academic journey or the academic pursuits is all tied to a common goal, impact. How can you make an impact, make a change in the society, something that people can feel or something that is truly transformational. So therefore, it is highly imperative in order for you to build your profile, for you to actually be a researcher, an academic that is willing to work with other people across other fields. So it's not about working with your colleagues in other universities or your colleagues in other similar institutions or other fields or similar fields, but rather also looking at working with other people that are ordinarily not considered to be in your field. And that is where cross-sectoral partnership sort of comes in. And we can also look at networking and professional affiliations. And one of the things that is often misconstrued with joining professional affiliations is we immediately don't see the benefits of that just because you need to pay a little bit of some membership fee in order for you to join some of these professional bodies and societies. But then that puts a lot of people off not knowing, well, if you're not part of the society, you're not going to know what you'll be missing anyway. And from personal experience, I took the pain to join a couple of professional bodies and societies, both in the US, in the UK, and also in Japan as well, and pay a few hundred of dollars just to be part of this membership, to be part of the member, to be as a member of the societies. And I've had the opportunity to tell you that I've had grants, both personal travel grants, conference attendance grants, in excess of thousands of dollars more than what I've paid in membership subscriptions. So you see that. So some of these professional bodies, we really want you to join them. You need to pay for subscription and do other things as other members. And therefore, once you're part of the once you're part of the membership, you can then begin to benefit and reap some of uh, the benefits, membership benefits. So I really would really encourage that we look at joining professional bodies, societies, especially within your fields. And also we also have some affiliate membership opportunities for a lot of people in different fields, as long as there's some slight overlap in terms of the research or application for that field. Then collaboration and alliance is also very important. Workshops and seminars. I really want to talk about the workshops and seminars. One of the is pretty much what we're holding right now, but there are thousands, millions of workshops, seminars, and webinars that offer the opportunity or that gives us opportunity for training and empowerment in certain fields that you're not very keen about. So I also can also borrow a cue from this where there was an opportunity for me to incorporate some computational modeling and finite element simulation into my work back then. And I substantially gained some of the knowledge to do some of this work and meeting potential people that could execute this for me through some workshops and seminars that I attended, and also some industry events as well. So you find that in your local area, you would have lots of industry events that gives opportunity to meet industry leaders, meet other fellow academics, and all sort of stuff. So all these activities put together, outlined here, could help you to building that your research profile and also carving a research identity for yourself. Then also for me is the innovation in research, and this can actually be argued in different ways in how you see it or what innovation means to you in research. So I'm still going to try to dwell a little bit more on this in terms of where the research is moving in the future. So one of the short things that I've put here is we have emerging tools and technologies that are also coming up that are also transforming the research landscape. I'm going to talk a little bit more on this towards the end of this presentation. But what's also very important, like I've said earlier, is to try to advance the frontiers of your field, of your research areas by exploring novel research questions and methodologies. How do I improve this and how do I make things work? And funders and people that are actually interested in pushing research globally are more interested in when you are asking new research questions, you want to introduce new research methodology to solve old problems. So for instance, if you have some new research questions around antimicrobial resistance, and you have new methods or new opportunities in terms of drug or processes that can actually transform or actually change the issue that we've had, the old problem of antimicrobial antimicrobial resistance. That would also be some welcome ideas for research, both impact and also for funding prospects. Then, of course, engaging globally with those at the forefront of this research could also be a very help. So innovation is also tied to research achievements. And I would actually say one of the things that I've done over the years in terms of my research achievement, in terms of outputs, in terms of publications. Okay, so one of the things that I've done over the years is not just to put a piece of article out there in terms of for the sake that I just want to publish, but rather to make sure that this article or my research gains some sort of visibility, and the achievement is not just by some paper or some methodology that we've developed, but rather communicating my work in a very, very in a way that sort of communicates a lasting sort of impression. So one of the ways you want to do that is by picking up one or two of your research. I mean, a patent doesn't have to be something that is overtly, exceptionally groundbreaking, but as long as it's new knowledge that you're contributing to that field, you can actually think of going for some patented technology or patenting your work or some of your research efforts. So it's one of the things that I've done in the past where we developed a little bit of some methods, you know, and it was quite exceptional in terms of the approach that we're taking. But it's not the the groundbreaking and highly transformational, but it actually contributes to solving a simple problem in the field of Raman spectroscopy, and therefore we consider that to be some worthy contribution to knowledge, and that was patented. And as part of the patent as well, or as part of the research, one of the things we did was to also target getting some front cover articles out of this public, out of the research achievement. So one of the things we've just done is we don't just publish articles, but rather also target to see if you can get your work on the front cover pages of the journals that you publish. And this, again, would actually give you a bit of visibility in terms of your research achievements, your research contribution. And this is particularly very helpful for early career researchers. And one of the reasons why I thought this would be very important is because I've had some invitations based on the fact that I've had a few front cover article pages where, based on that, a couple of people contacted me to discuss more about the research, collaboration interests, also co-application for funding, and also how we can push this. But if my journal article was just somewhere in the middle of the chance of it being visible, or my research itself or myself would be slightly lower. But nonetheless, it doesn't mean that you won't get visible with your publication. But if you can target to get your articles at the front pages, that would be more fantastic. So another approach as well was making graphical illustrations, some beautiful art. So I always recently I was just discussing with a couple of people in the department, and they were asking, what are you doing so differently that you're getting a couple of grants, you know, in and all that, and also, you know, a couple of things going on research wise. And I said, well, one of the things that I do is I just don't uh communicate my proposals in plain texts. I mean, as a matter of fact, I really don't like it myself to see that I'm writing a proposal, a research proposal, and I'm not able to visually give a graphical illustration of what I'm talking about. So when I also review proposals myself, whether fellowship proposals, funding proposals, and all sort of proposals, even students' work, I'm always pissed when I don't see some nice illustration. It doesn't have to be quite very nice, but it needs to be visually appealing. And that alone communicates that you already know what you're doing. So over the years, we've had the opportunity to publish in high impact fact journals because well, I'm not going to say it's the only it's the main factor, but at least it gives you're able to appeal to one or two reviewers to say, oh yeah, this research proposal has some very stunning graphical representation and therefore fundable, and of course it appeals to some myself. I tend to see more seriousness in proposals and materials that have got some good graphical illustration. So again, how did we start? So myself, I didn't start this graphical illustrations or graphical abstracts and schemes myself, but also binding together with people that could use a couple of softwares, Canvas, Blender, and all sort of things that could do all these things. And over time, learning it myself, and therefore gaining a mastery of this. So these are some of the things that you could actually incorporate slowly into your research and spend a little bit of time to develop. Yes, then on a personal note, some of the key profile building activities that I've done in the past is intentionally going for going for opportunities for grants and fellowships. So, and I think this would actually appeal more to early career researchers, probably those are just finishing the PhD or those that are just a few years post PhD, is going for grants and fellowships rather than going for postdoctoral calls in someone's lab. Well, it's always an opportunity to build, to join a research group and all that. But I think going for fellowships, for instance, a Marie Curie fellowship, a JSPS, which is a Japan Society for Promotion of Science Fellowship, National Research Foundation fellowships. A lot of fellowships would actually give you opportunity to build your research more quickly. Yes, but again, you can also build your research by working with people on personal projects. But the fellowship opportunities would actually be more impactful. Then awards, honors, you could also target to always make an impression when you go for conferences, get a best oral presentation prize, best poster presentation prizes, and this sort of things would actually help with some visibility of your research and profile. Then conference and activity presentations, and sometimes you could actually press or try to leverage some networks to give you the opportunity to get invited talks to conferences. So one of the ways to do this is your network. You could actually begin to ask your extended network if they're organizing conference very soon or in the future, if they can put you up as an invited speaker in your conference. Then also press and media coverage of research is also quite important in your research, giving opportunity to actually speak to the press, throw in one or two articles about your research. Then conference outputs. It doesn't have to be. Most times, output is not just only about the journal articles that we present, but also about conference proceedings and also book chapters. These are also very, very highly impactful outputs that needs to be considered as
Sorry,
well.
Prof. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So we have less than 5 minutes to round up this section.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So you could also consider some other service to professions, seeking editorial roles, seeking different reviews, being reviews for different lot of articles, try to join some advisory panels and all that. So again, like I said from the very beginning, it's very important for you to look at some mentorship opportunity to get mentored by those that are at the forefront of the research academic journeys. And therefore, this will actually give you the opportunity to get first-hand clues in terms of what they're doing, how they've done it, and also making sure that you're actually doing things the right way, especially when it comes to funding proposal development and also navigating some career pathways. So lastly, the areas that I also think it's worth considering. And I think I'm going to share this slides so that it can be shared to the members of the researcher platform so that you can have a look at it, or it's been recorded anyways. So some areas for future growth that are very, very important that I think we can begin to look into. And these areas are all interconnected. It doesn't matter, as long as you're in the sciences, even in the non-sciences field, you can actually get some interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary collaboration in these areas. So, and for me, so that's it. I really want to thank you for your time and your attention. So here's my I've got my email there, and yeah, if there's any questions or any discussion thereof resulting well from this, I'd really I'm happy to have a chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please drop a comment if you know you've enjoyed this section. You know that your time is not, you are not just wasting your time. You know you've gained one or two things. Drop the comments on the on our message. Yes, I can see. Thank you for the great message. Now, I just want to tell us that we are all of us, we are loaded one way or the other. See, all what we need is just to encourage one another, and information is the key. Like he mentioned some certain things that will quickly reiterate. He said, establishing your own research identity. That is, you need to have a niche for yourself. What is a niche? If you are into machine learning, let them know you are in machine learning. If you are in data science, let them know you're in data science. If you are working in education, let them know you're working in language education, you are working in technological education. If you are in religion study, let them know your stand so that you go deeper and deeper and deeper in that particular orders. So quick notice, please, for those of us on the video, let us if you're on the video, make sure you are properly dressed so that we not, otherwise we try to remove you from there because of the public, because we are going to share this video to international world. Please try as much as possible, try and dress properly. Thank you so much for that. Now, another thing is we are moving to another section. We will put all the questions, everything together. Our speakers, they are all in the house, so they are going to do justice to that. Without wasting much of our time, join me as I welcome Dr. Samson Oyeyinka. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. And good day, everyone. I'm using the word good day because I know in some places it can be evening, it can be afternoon elsewhere. So good day, and thank you very much, Dr. Jordan, for that insightful presentation. I'm not gonna be wasting much of our time because I think Dr. Jordan have done justice to what we are looking at today. So I'll just be adding a bit of flesh here and there. Apologies ahead if I'm repeating what he already said, but then I'm sure you're going to be learning something new as well from a few information I'll be providing here. So I've added the picture of this old man, and what I'm trying to impress on your mind is that experience is the best teacher. No matter how young that person may be, if the person has got an experience, you need to go to that person. And that's why I'm very happy that everyone on the platform, no matter how young or old you have something to learn from everyone. So that's the first message this morning. The future of research, if we want to do any research that is transformational, that is impactful, that is innovative, you need that side of experience to give you that bird for the next level. So very quickly, I'm just going to be talking again about the future of research. Again, leans on doing interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary research. And that's the way to go. If you really want to strengthen your research capacity, if you want to improve your research outputs, if you really want to do something new, while you might carve a niche for yourself, like Dr. Ojodomo mentioned, you also need to begin to look at how you can integrate your experience with other people's experience. And I'm going to be sharing the bulk of the thing I'll be saying here today is more about my personal experience with other people's research. So it's very important. And again, be open to learning new things to strengthen your previous knowledge. I'll give an instance. I'm a food chemist by training, and the bulk of my research has been around starch chemistry and starch modification. But since I moved to the United Kingdom, my line manager where I work is a food microbiologist. So she does more about food safety, metagenomics, metabolomics, and things like that. And so when I joined the team, it looked very weird to me doing research that involves microbiology, even though I love microbiology during my undergraduate days. But when I joined the team, I learned something new. In fact, I had to visit a food factory where they produce poultry, a poultry factory, where they produce, whole live chicken, from the very live chicken to when it is slaughtered and packaged. So I went there, did some swabbing, learned some new techniques, and lo and behold, I started learning something about metagenomics, how you get microorganisms, you can take them for sequencing, you look at their abundance, look at their diversity. These were things I never knew because I didn't do anything around that space. So what I'm saying in essence, the future of research is you being open to learning new things. Now, I'm not going to encourage you to drop your strength, because at some point you will need it when you begin to write for grant application. It's very key to mention that when you apply for grant and you do research, they want to test your prior knowledge. They look at your track record. So you don't want to leave that entirely. But learning new things will help you to begin to do interdisciplinary research. And to do this, you need an open mind. You need an open mind. All right. Now, the other thing I would like to emphasize is in this trend of new research, we need to begin to integrate artificial intelligence. And I know many of us here today, you may have heard of AI, machine learning. These techniques are revolutionizing data. AI has come to change the dynamics of research. And I put it to you, many of us are using ChatGPT and several other AI tools there. They are powerful tools you can use to synthesize ideas. Now, don't shy away from it. AI has come to stay. When AI started, I was one of the people that I was against it, to be honest. But I realized that it has more good than bad, depending on how you see it. So let me give you an example. For those who use ChatGPT, for instance, you can sit down, you have an idea in your head, but you don't know how to go about it. So just tell ChatGPT, I want to do this, I want to do that, give me this. You'll be amazed on what AI will produce. That's the trend. Then you can sit down. To be honest, sometimes ChatGPT can give you some stupid things that does not exist. But because we are humans and we are wise, remember, ChatGPT was trained by human being as well, fed with several information and algorithm. But as a researcher, when you put in those information, you can then sit down, take out the ones that are irrelevant, and then use it to build your research idea. I have to be honest with you, AI, machine learning, they are powerful tools to revolutionize our research in the nearest future. It has started, and like I said, it has come to stay. So if you don't know how to use ChatGPT well, I'm sure there are several videos online, and I'm also happy to do one-on-one with you to tell you how you can train your ChatGPT to give you the desired information you need for your research. Again, for those who do research, the trend of research today, you need to integrate sustainability. You need to think about how to reduce carbon footprint. For example, you're doing research and you're thinking about, okay, this trend has been around importing food, for example, maybe from Ghana to the United Kingdom. So can we think about how can we grow those crops being imported in the United Kingdom? Because when you ship, yes, it might be more cheaper to grow them locally. So think broadly. What can I do to, add value to existing data? But when you are doing that, make sure you incorporate sustainability, sustainable crops. I'm speaking as a food scientist now. Look at crops that are grown locally. How can you add value to them? Then also link your research to sustainable development goals. Many of the grants we have won, when you write them, they want to see that link to SDGs. They want to see that link to SDGs. Because of time, while you are also focusing on globally relevant research, make sure that your research ideas are also locally relevant. For somebody like Dr. Jodoma Amai, who are in the UK, and several other researchers, when you write any grant, particularly maybe to IUK or BBSRC, they want to see how that impacts the United Kingdom. The food and drink industry, for example, what is the impact of your research on that space? So make sure that while you are trying to attract global relevance, you are also locally relevant. And that's the future of research, I must tell you. And then your research must be smart. Okay, it must be specific, must be measurable, must be achievable, must be relevant, and must be time-bound. Okay, now I'm not going to waste time. I'm going to be rounding up very shortly. Now, if you see that image there, I created this using ChatGPT. And all I told ChatGPT is give me a graphical thing that depicts that somebody is watching me. And see that beautiful picture right there. I can't design this on my own, but that's what ChatGPT just gave me. And it looks very brilliant. You agree with me? So where am I going with that? Keep doing what you're doing in your very little way, because it pays off later. Now, I'll give you an example. Recently, I received an email from organizer of a conference, international food. It's something around functional foods. And so when I saw the email, they're asking me to come and present from nowhere. I've not submitted abstract there before. I've not been invited there before. So I was a bit scared, because I know there are several outlets where people just want to extort you for conferences. So watch out for those. So when I looked at the email, I went to check the speakers, and I saw one of a renowned professor that I collaborate with. So I emailed him and I said, Prof, are you aware of this conference? Are you going to be speaking there? I saw your picture. And then he came back to me and said, yes, it's genuine. Oh, so I went back to the organizers, and they said, oh, we're happy to allow you come and present, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I don't have any fund to travel. Are you happy to pay for my flight details and all of those? And lo and behold, they paid for flights, they paid for the hotel. And I never knew they were also planning a new journal to be hosted on Esivia. And I was appointed as an editorial board member. So where I'm going is this: I didn't apply for it. I didn't lobby for it, but somebody was watching somewhere. So I've come to encourage you again today. In terms of future research, you need to keep doing what you're doing, but do it right. Add integrity to what you're doing. Somebody's watching you somewhere, and it's going to pay off later. Now, don't be too big to learn. Now, I'm saying this to you because many of us as researchers, sometimes we want to stay in our shell. You don't know all. You only know a fragment. No one's an island. I'm still learning. And Professor Okay will agree with me that he's also still learning. We are learning every day, and we're also here to learn. As simple as SPSS is, you can learn it even from your own students. So don't be too big to learn. Again, that's the future of research. If you want to break new grounds in research, you need to humble yourself to learn. Now, in terms of publications, raise the bar. Now, I'm going to be saying this because I know we have several folks from Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian, and I'm not shying away from that. I love my country, but we need to help each other. One of the things I've seen for the last 14, 15 years being academics and reviewing for several journals is that when we publish, particularly people from our own dear country, we commit so many blunders and errors when we send manuscript out for publication. And this is why I'm sharing this today, to help us. We are looking at future research. Please raise the bar. If you're a professor or an associate professor or you're a senior lecturer, or you're a lecturer, or you're a researcher, raise the bar. Don't just let somebody put your name in a manuscript because you want to build several publications for yourself. Let them send you what they want to publish. Read it. If you are just going to be reading the abstract and conclusion, make sure you contribute to it. I've reviewed several manuscripts and I see errors, several formatting errors. And I have to be honest with you, if I read a manuscript, I read the abstract, I see errors. I read introduction, I see errors. I read methodology, and it's not allowing me to focus on the science. It's either I recommend major revision or I reject it. I want to plead with us as we translate into the future, as we look at 2025, pay attention to formatting errors, methods, grammatical errors. Now, I'll give you an example here as I close. As simple as table is, some of us as researchers, the way we draw our table can be very annoying. And I'm going to show you an example. I will stop sharing my screen and I will share you a document. And I'm saying we have come to learn. So I apologize if I'm speaking to you. I may not know. Then please, I hope you are learning. So look at my screen, for example. Ideally, when you want to draw a table, this is what you should do. You insert a table from here, and you can build the columns. But I see in manuscripts submitted, people then come, they don't follow this format. What they do is they come to insert, go to shapes, and they pick a line like this. And then you see people draw lines like this, pick another line to draw tables, and then they draw this as a column or row, and then they start typing values in there. When you do this, your data or your column will get scattered. So when you submit it online, by the time the reviewer is reading it, the data will look, it's going to be very annoying. So I want to plead with us. Spend time with your manuscript. You can do a very good job, but you can mess it up with formatting. So as I close, I'll share my screen back. As I close with this today, I want to encourage you as we look ahead into 2025. Give me a few minutes. Please pay attention to what you do. Don't be in a hurry. I know many of us want to publish. It's very good, but please pay attention. Raise the bar for yourself. Spend that 5 minutes to look at your manuscript over and over again. Attitude is everything. Thank you for listening. I hope you have gained something today. God bless you.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is when they said another dose. You see, let's put it in the comment. What have you learned in that last presentation? Yes, just put it in that. Yes, I can see wonderful talk. Yes. Now, one of the things is open to learning new things. You are not too old to learn new things, please. So far, you are still in the research business, or you are still in this academics of a thing, or you are moving. So far, you have masters. You should not be scared. You should not be scared of learning new things. Just masters alone, not even PhD now. Please, ability to humble yourself to learn new things is the key. Forget about it. The attitude, like you mentioned, it's a strong word that some of us, because of our attitude, and the world is global now, things are moving around. They can locate you. I have someone on this platform, Ondo State. That is when he was recruited from to US, North Dakota, Ondo State. So it's not because I'm hiding myself. No, your work will speak volume for you. There are a lot of algorithms they use to search for people they want to recruit all over the world. We will still talk more of that, but let's look at it. And let's join me as a welcome Dr. Oluwaseun Iyasere, all the way from Germany. Over to you, ma'am.
Good day, everyone. I'm so excited to be part of this meeting.
You're welcome.
So as we are ending the year 2024, I think it's all about the mindset shift. That is what I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to be too specific. I believe the two speakers, they've really done a lot, how men talk. So I'm going to talk as a woman that I am. And yes, come from a more subtle angle that you guys are not really taking good care, attention about. And that is, about visibility. I'm not going to talk too much. So kindly permit me to share my screen, please, and let me know if you can see it, because at times I do have issues with this Mac.
Yeah.
Yep,
All right.
okay. Thank you so much. Wow. I know you can see it. Just permit me, just hold on. It's always like that for me, for the Mac. So visibility is very key to all that we're talking about. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, I think it's okay now. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you once again for the opportunity to be part of this. Yes, so contributing to what the future of research, the trends, the technology, and the transformation, we all know that. And what I want to say is that interdisciplinary collaboration. Most times, I'm going to be talking from my personal experience and be adding, examples, stories. I love sharing stories because story resonates with each and every one of us. For instance, I know that if you go, you will never forget the story I shared. And of course, it has to do with my personal journey. So interdisciplinary collaboration is very key to the current trend in our research. It's high time we begin to look into how else, what is trending in my research area, in the industry that I find myself. How can I collaborate with people who have probably the equipment that you need for a particular research? So looking at this, because this interdisciplinary collaboration will bring people of diverse perspective, diverse expertise, and there will be a holistic research at the end of the day with innovative solution to address real world problems. Like one of the speakers said, we need to have research address the challenges, the current challenges. We have a whole lot of them. Some may be, climate change. Some may be hunger. Every other thing. There is a whole lot of global issues that we need to tailor our research towards. And that is what we need to consider. So research visibility, that is what I'm going to hammer on. And how can we get our research visible, or as a researcher, how can I become visible? Because I am the one doing the research. I need to be visible as well. When I am visible, people would know that this person has actually done this work, and it's easy for them to know me. It's easy for them to reach out to me and say they want to collaborate with me. It's easy for me to as well say, yes, I want to put up a grant out there because I am visible. Let me tell you this one key thing. At times we apply for fellowships, at times we apply for grants and things like that. But some of these bodies, they take their time to check you in terms of visibility. What is this person doing? So you can't hide in one corner and say the world will know you. No. When you light a candle, you have to place it on top of something so that it's, the light glows. You can't hide yourself and say you want to be global. You have to be visible. We are in a digital space. We are in the digital era. You can use different media to be visible. So you have to consider that. If you are still on LinkedIn and you don't have a bio, I don't know what you're doing there as a researcher, to be sincere. At times I see researchers, they just put in their headline, lecturer. Lecturer what? Nobody will go to LinkedIn and be searching for lecturer. Nobody will go there and be searching for professor. What they want to look at is, what is your area of expertise? What are you doing? Is it food microbiology? Is it food science? Is it chemistry? That is what they want to know. Nobody will go there and be searching for lecturer, professor. No. So all this, we have been saying it over the years. But I believe success is for those that take action. Take the action. If you want to see the significant change that you want, you need to take action. So, and I believe as we are going into the year 2025, these are little things that we do that will make, our profile more visible, and people will know us for what we are doing. Now, in terms of publication in reputable journals, high impact journals, and open access journals. Of course, we know that open access requires money. Yeah. So when you have good interdisciplinary collaboration with external bodies, or probably you have a fund for that project, you would have keyed into it that in the budget that there will be money for publication. That will cater for that. So high impact journal, you need to look at the reputation of the journal that you want to publish in. I've seen people, they just publish for publishing's sake. And at the end of the day, they end up publishing in predatory journal. And it's not useful for them. So if it's just one publication that you want to have in a year, target quality. Because that one journal in a high impact journal says a lot about you. It says a lot about your research integrity. It goes a long way, than saying, okay, I will just do a local publication or something, a predatory journal. At least I can do 4 or 5 in a year. It's not the matter of number, it's the matter of quality. Although this perspective differs, like I said at the beginning, it has to be something related to mindset shift. What transpires in Nigeria is different from what transpires abroad. But I believe we can learn from what is happening overseas, because to me, I don't limit myself. I don't see myself as a local champion. I don't see myself as a local researcher. And what I do is I try to set my standard based on what is out there. Because at any point in time, I may want to apply for any position anywhere in the world. And I want to meet that standard at any point in time. I'm not limiting myself, and I don't want you to limit yourself either. Don't limit yourself. You have what it takes to become a global, researcher. Don't limit yourself. You just need to work on your personal development. The first speaker said something about graphical design. I love it. But a lot of us don't know that we can even start learning this on our own. On Canva, we have the free version of Canva. All this it has to do with personal development. So take it very serious, please. Networking at conferences. Yes, this is something I also want to talk about. When you attend conferences, whether local conference or international conferences, how do you network? Do you just stick to yourself? Do you stay, do you look for people of the same color, maybe those from Nigeria, let us hang around? No, that is not the issue. I will share this with you. There was the first international conference, not really the first, really, but not really the first, but there was a conference I attended in Norway. I got a travel grant. And let me just add to this before I forget, because it's just coming to my brain now. For you to be able to attend some international conferences, we know it is expensive if you don't have travel grant, but be active on some social media platform. They used to post opportunities for travel grant to conferences. So my first conference, the conference I attended in Norway that was sponsored, which I got a travel grant for, I got the information on Twitter. I just saw that there is a development countries conference attendance fund for this conference, and just sending your whatever, sending your abstract, sending your motivation, and I just applied without knowing anybody, and that was how I got it. So you have to be visible, you have to be active. Nobody will come and be sharing to you in your home or where you stay. Be active, put yourself out there, adding information and also learning from what people are sharing. So attending conferences, if you are the shy type, you have to break that shell. If you are the shy type, you have to break out of that shell. I was very, very shy before, but now I can stand before anybody because I know what I carry. You have to build your self-confidence. You have to build it. Nobody will help you develop that. Nobody will help you develop that. It's like you are loaded and you are shy. You don't know how to present yourself. Then how do we know you are loaded? So make sure you interact with people at conferences. Listen to their talk, Approach them. I love the way your presentation, I love this idea. Probably if it's not even within your niche, appreciate the person for that, presentation. And then you get talking. How do you do this? This is what I do. This is my work. This is how it's related to you. That networking time is very, very important. And let me also tell you, the social time is very important. Initially, I used to think for social, Iran, those kind of things, social. But let me tell you, I got to know it that the social aspect is as important as even the presentation time. And do you know why? The presentation time, you're talking science. You're talking, the knowledge, what you have done, the methodology, whatever you have achieved. But the social event says a lot about who you are as a person. Remember, we are not robots. We are social beings. You should be able to relate with people. Aside having a good presentation, what is your, interpersonal skill like? How do you relate with people on a social level? That is where people can get to know you more. They will know the other side of you. One side is the academic side. The other side is the social side. And for people that want to recruit, it may be PhD students or even want to recruit a postdoc, they would want somebody that will be able to relate, in their team, not the person that would come and, be isolating himself and things like that. So we are social beings. We are human beings. Academicians, please, we are human beings. Let us calm down and be our authentic self. Authentic self. This is me. I crack jokes, I tell stories, but that does not mean I'm not serious. When it comes to work, we do the work. So in terms of poster session, another mindset shift. For instance, if you have the opportunity and you picked, okay, you chose that you wanted oral presentation. And let me know in the chat, what is your perspective like to oral versus poster presentation? Kindly drop in the chat. Which one do you prefer, oral or poster session? Or what is your perspective about poster presentation? Yeah, because I used to have that belief that, oh, until I get, okay, oral, until I get an oral presentation, that is when you are really making sense. There are different things entirely. To be sincere, I want you to embrace it, because there are some people, even when they are given poster, it's as if, they've just, watered down their work. It's as if maybe they did not appreciate their work. It's as if their work, they are not there. That kind of mentality. To be sincere, we need to change it. If you are not accepted for an oral presentation, make good use of your oral presentation. Now, let me tell you, for oral presentation, you have limited time, right? Maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And you also have limited question time. They may say, okay, we want 2 or 3 questions. Oral is good, but I will tell you the advantages and disadvantages. You can in oral presentation, you can present to a wide audience at a go. But in terms of the feedback, you may not get too much feedback from oral, because there is always a time constraint. We can only take 2 or 3, questions, which is good. You attend to it. But what one advantage about poster is that you are there to sell that poster, that content that you have, your research. You can talk one-on-one. People will get to talk to you one-on-one. You can relate. You have enough time to talk to people. You have enough time to share other things about yourself. You have enough time to exchange contact. So to me, the first time I had this shift in mentality was I attended a conference, that Norway conference, and I was given a poster. I went there with my poster from Nigeria, and I was there. Okay, let's do the poster. And I saw that even professors that I was looking up to, in the field, were also having poster presentation. My dear, that was when the thing changed in my mind. That was when that thing, I just wipe it off. That it's as much as having a presentation, having a one-on-one talk with people. In fact, when you have a one-on-one talk, that means you are like in putting it in their memory. When next they meet you, you forgot you were at my poster, they will remember you. All this goes a lot. We need to maximize the potentials of attending conferences. Most of us don't do that. Most of us don't do that. And that is where we lose out on opportunities. And it is when you attend conferences, I may take a little bit of time, but please just give me the time to explain. When you attend conferences, that is when you know the latest trend. Where is, this research going to in the nearest future? And with that, you get insight, you get ideas that will help you build your research, and people will know, how come your work is innovative? How come your thing is, your research is so novel, so, so interesting, not knowing that all these ideas, you were able to get them when you attended conferences. And also, even if you don't have the opportunity to attend physical conferences, make use of virtual conferences. It is, though it's not the same, but you can still gain a lot from virtual conferences. Please interact, be active in even virtual events. So create your own personal website, showcase your work. When you showcase your work, it's not the issue of pride. You put in the hard work to get all those research output. You have done a lot. Let the world see what you have achieved. It is part of visibility. The mindset we have is that when I show this, it's as if I'm proud. What are you proud? You did the work. Do you know the effort you put into it? Do you know the number of hours you spent in the lab? Do you know the effort in getting a grant? Do you know what it takes to publish that paper? Put it out there and let people see. Talk about it. Talk about what you have achieved. Talk about the challenges you face so that you can motivate other people. And include your your contact information. If you don't have a personal, you can use your LinkedIn profile as your website. You can use your Google Scholar as somewhere, as a place where people can, read about your work. You can use ResearchGate. It depends. Just pick something. And if you have the time or to get your real, personal website or professional website, do it. And for those of you that you have institutions, in our institutions, we have our website. There is a place where you go to Federal University of Agriculture, you go to my page, we all have this in most of our institutions. How much have we maximized those resources? Go to your PRO unit. Tell them you want to update your own profile in the university's website. Give them the information that you need. I want to put my latest this in my profile. Update it. At least that will help. Let's go on. Engage with the media. This is something I realize that most people don't do. And if you see those abroad, when they have a publication or they discover something significant, aside from publication, they engage with the media. They get interviewed. They are interviewed. They put articles in magazines, newspaper, everything, press releases. They love it when they are being interviewed and they talk about the. How much are we doing? Do you think they are doing it for nothing? They are doing it for visibility. They are doing it so that people know the work that they are doing. So in your university, maybe you have a radio station, or you are, you can go. Okay, book a date with them. I want to talk about this new discovery from my lab. Book a date for an interview. And another thing about interviews is that we have people even looking out for those they can interview and to know about their work. There are a lot of I got a lot on LinkedIn. I see you are doing a good work in Nigeria. I see your work on chickens. I do work on chicken. I'm not into chemistry like the previous speaker. I work with chickens, and that is who I am, and I stand to talk about it anywhere in the world. Be proud of what you are doing. Be confident in what you are doing, and be able to share it to the world. Love, learn storytelling. All this is part of it. You can't start a presentation. At times when we go to conferences, not everybody that comes to your conference is an academic person. Some may be from the industry. Some may be from, other places. You need to be able to present in a simple way that everybody will understand. You don't need to start talking about terminologies. So let me just go on. I know I'm taking time. Teaching and mentoring. Yeah, we all know that. You can be a guest lecturer in a university. I did my PhD in Newcastle University, Newcastle upon Tyne, UK. I finished 2014, so 10 years now. So there was on LinkedIn, I was on LinkedIn, and there was this, she's a researcher, a lecturer there, and she reached out to me, and I was like, I see that you finished from Newcastle. There is a master's course she's handling on this. I would love to invite you as a guest lecturer. to come and, give a talk on this topic. And I said, fine, I'm okay with it. I was not paid, but I know that I am working on my visibility. I have that in my CV as a guest lecturer. And I have the topic, I have everything. So all these opportunities come, but most of us we don't really see it as a way to sell ourselves. Next time, if I talk about it, at least you don't know what opportunity will come up from that. So let's go on. In terms of books, we know that most of us are used to publishing books, chapter books, We can also write ebooks. Do you know that? You can write storybooks. You can write chemistry, the ABC of chemistry, or chemistry for children. It is also books. And mind you, we are not taught about entrepreneurship. The entrepreneurship the first speaker talked about is more of research oriented. But entrepreneurship in terms of money wise, we also need it. We don't need to shy from the fact that we need means of passive income. And we already have the knowledge, we have the skills, we have the ideas to generate passive income. We all know it, that we need extra source of money to live a better life. We know we know how much lecturers are paid. But do we have to continue complaining about it when we have the resources at hand? An ABC on chemistry where a child, although the younger ones, can read and get interested and motivated, and even you inspire them to want to study chemistry. Because just hearing chemistry on its own, if you are not careful, you turn people away because we think it's a complex thing. But there is a way you can present it in a simplified way that would motivate people to want to understand it. Let's think outside the box. Now, yeah. So collaboration with other researchers, I think I've talked about that. And leverage on social media. Work on that. Work on it. Share updates. Join discussions. Engage in people's posts. Comment. If somebody says something about climate change, of course I can relate climate change to animal behavior. I can relate climate change to animal welfare. There was a day I was discussing with the host about my work, and it was like, wow, he has done some mathematical models relating to hyperthermia. And I do research on hyperthermia. You can see that the world it's now a global village. There's always a way you can collaborate once you are able to think outside the box. So join discussions. And yeah, thank you so much for your listening attention. I would love to take questions. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, okay now. I believe all of us. Please drop it in the comment section. Let's hear what you have gained. Please put it there. Ifedayo Ojo, you are welcome, sir. So put it in the comment section. Please put something in the comment section. Something new that yes, awesome. Publishing a book, yes. Let's put it in the comment section. This is wonderful. Yes, thank you so much. Now, you can see that we are all loaded. We have a great section. We have a lovely section. Please, if you have any question for any of the section we have, I want you to put it in the comment section. You can just raise up your hands. We just called you. And then, okay, over to you, Chiwendu. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, good afternoon or good day, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. K, for this wonderful presentation. And thank you to the speakers. I really want to thank the last speaker because I felt that she's at home. She tried to talk at home from the way at home because I really enjoyed I enjoy what she said, especially the poster presentation, because sometimes I remember one time I put in for oral presentation, I was giving poster. I was like, when I was a PhD student or MSc, they gave me that. But now, what are they giving me? How am I going to bring my results to one poster? That was very, very dramatic. But at the end of the day, I did that. And it was very wonderful. So poster presentation is actually very good because it even make you to make friends, because people will come, you talk with them. And before you know what is happening, you're exchanging contacts with them. I keep in touch with that. I appreciate that. And conference attendance is very important. I know that Dr. K will be an evidence of that. We met in a conference and we have been meeting in a conference. I think it's only once we met physical, but we have a lot of work we have done together. So, sometimes the conference, many of us in Nigeria are discouraged. That is an extent. because we are discouraged because of finances, money. That's why we are discouraged, because you see that you don't have access to TED fund, you don't have access to anything. Is it the salary that you are going to enter flight and go to US or UK? Very difficult. But what the first speaker said, be a member association is very good. I am a benefit to that. I am a big time benefit of membership. I don't think I can pay back what I benefited from membership. Just like I was just, when he was presenting, I say, oh, I just remember I need to pay 50 euros, $50 for a membership before it will expire the next year. And there's opportunity to apply for grants to travel for that conference if you're a full member. So we should try as much as we can do. I know it's difficult, but some of these membership are free. For example, European Mathematics Society is free for developing countries. There's women in mathematics, European women in mathematics is 5 euros for people from developing countries. Some of them are free because they are trying to see how they can also bring in people from developing countries. So we should make do with that. It's very, very important. Even the conferences, if you cannot access the international conference, it can start within local. It can start within local. Within local, even people from international also attend them. But try as much as to be a member of international organization. It will help you a lot. If you have a work, you're a member, I don't know whether it's too much to like having like $50 every year for membership. I think it's something, if you're a researcher, it's something you can look out for. When opportunity comes, you can make use of that. And also want to thank the speakers. And it's a very wonderful opportunity, because me, I'm supposed to go somewhere, but I have to sit down for this presentation, because this presentation, like 2 years ago, I had an opportunity to talk. And after that talk, that 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to have 1 or 2 persons that my talk impacted their life. So I see it an opportunity to be around. What I wanted to say to some of us that is still based in Nigeria, there are opportunities. There are 1,001 opportunities. It's just like, I know I'm a victim of not being visible. Social media things. Because when this talk was going on, I said, I have to sit down. Maybe I'll meet Oke to tell me how to revise my LinkedIn, because I don't even know. Sometimes when I finish presentation, people say, what is your name in LinkedIn? I say, I will not be cracking my brain because I'm not a social media person. But when this presentation was going on, I grabbed something. I grabbed about graphic illustrations. A lot of things. Okay, I just want to say thank you for the presentation.
Thank you so
We should
much.
reach out anyone that have access to anything, release it, guide, and mentor. And you don't need to be a professor to mentor a PhD student. No, you can can mentor me too. It doesn't mean your rank in wherever. If you see that this person has something you want to learn from, the person can be your mentor. That is the truth. You don't need to be a professor. When they talk about mentorship, don't be looking at your professor, your PhD. No. If people, what you don't have, you are looking for somebody to mentor you there. That is what you are looking out for. So we should look out for that. It's a very good presentation. Okay, I want to also tell you that it's something that you need to keep doing. We need to talk more of opportunities. We need to talk more. Like me, I'm in France for 2 months visit. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity. So we need to talk about opportunity. Let our people know that in as much as things are like this, we can still network with people out there. Network and come. You don't need to use it's more of like information.
Thank
Yeah.
you,
So thank you.
I know if I
That
give you the, well, I know you are loaded. I decided not to call it. I know, but you know what? We will still have more time to do this. But quick one. Toba Bamitale, are you in the house?
Dr.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm in the
sorry,
house.
Dr. Okay, do you have the intention of recording this question and answer session? I think maybe
Yes,
you stop it
it's going on.
so
It's
that
going on.
people will be free to express themselves. There are some things about personal they may want to reveal, so they may
Yeah.
not want to record it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are you there, Dr. Toba? Are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
So
Thank
go
you
on.
so much, sir.
You're welcome,
This
sir.
is very impactful. This is very impactful. I'm a sport and exercise science.
Okay.
And you know, people like us that are in sport, that are in exercise, that are in physical education. At times we look at it that in Nigeria, people look down on us when it comes to research and everything. But I've been a beneficiary of multidisciplinary research, even from people from chemistry, from biology, from public health, from medicine, and so on and so forth. And I really want to appreciate Professor Shegoke for bringing this to our knowledge. Honestly, you made the 2024, you wrap up 2024 for me on this and to meet people. Please and please, let this thing be a regular thing, maybe quarterly, so that many of us that we are feeling guilty of being academia in Nigeria, we will know that we have the international counterpart that we can call upon when we are in trouble. Because at times it looks as if that many of us from Nigeria, we don't work at all when we see our counterpart in diaspora. But this is really making sense to us, giving us a sense of belonging that we have this. Like I was sharing with some of our colleagues that in academics in Nigeria, especially, we've lost so many brain and talent to stress. Honestly, to stress. And we that are in sport and exercise science, what can we do to help our colleagues around? Many of our colleagues, they are living a sedentary life because at times research is stressful. Many of them don't bother about recreation. So when many of us, we are in sport, exercise background, when we are talking to them, they look at us, what do they know? You don't mix chemical, you don't do this, you don't do that. But thank God you are bringing this because multidisciplinary is the best thing now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I want to.
You want to say?
Please, we want. Okay, yes. Then lastly, please, we want to learn more about AI. Thank you for that second presenter that mentioned so many things on AI. I really learned a lot, and we want more of this. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. You're welcome, sir.
The first presenter, the second, and third presenter.
You're welcome, sir. Hello, sir. Professor Olusoya, over to you, sir. You can unmute yourself, sir. We can't hear you. You can unmute yourself. Okay, sir.
Hello? Okay,
Yes,
thank
we can
you.
hear
I am Carl Olusoya.
Okay, sir.
A student of master's education at LASU, Nigeria.
You're
Not
welcome.
a professor yet. Yes.
You're welcome.
In fact, I have enjoyed listening to the three speakers.
Thank you, sir.
One, learning about creating research identity.
Yes.
Focusing your research on the global relevance, but local needs.
Yes.
And they're also creating a research identity for yourself, creating a niche.
You're right.
And also about publishing your identity for global views.
Exactly.
Maybe you could be located here and there for support, for collaboration. These are many things we do that we keep, or we just feel it is not necessary. But from learning from listening to the three lecturers, the three speakers, I think we'll start to learn to do it.
Thank you.
I also learned from the second speaker when he mentioned something about the application of AI and machine learning.
Yes, sir.
He said he created that image from Chat GPT, which also gives ideas. Gives a perspective, imagination you cannot ordinarily yourself create. I think overall, the session has been very impactful, very insightful, very inspiring. And I think I'll pick one or two things from there to go forward in a scholarly pursuit. I thank you very much. As somebody have said, maybe once in a quarter, we'll have the benefits of this type of session.
Surely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
On the platform, that's one of the things we are trying to adjust as part of the admin. We are working on that. We will how to have it quarterly, so we know that this quarter we are having it. I promise you, by God's grace, 2025 we'll have a quarter section webinar from different perspectives. As a matter of fact, we are all loaded. We don't need external to come. All of us that are the speakers today, they are all on the same platform. I'm also on the platform, and some of us that are not there. And there's another thing going on now. Any moment from now, you will see a community, researcher community. We are trying to work on that researcher community. And as soon as we created the community, for those people on the other side in Telegram that you are not there in WhatsApp, we will try and also bring you in. The Telegram will still be there. While there is the community, we cater for different groups that we are going to merge together, and the announcement will be on the one part so that all of us will be getting it once and for us on that researcher platform. So do we have any other question before I call all our speakers to say one or two the closing remark? Yes. Okay, we have three. Okay, we have here Tope Roslyn Olorunfemi. Please unmute yourself, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Okay, I'm here to say just 3 things. And the first one is to appreciate all our wonderful presenters. For me, I've gained a lot. My writing pad is full, and I'm guilty of some things, and I've also learned some things going forward, which I'm going to incorporate in 2025. Second thing I want to say, Dr. Okay is our, I don't want to say he's the savior because Jesus is our savior.
I'm not.
I want to thank Dr. Okay because he has, God has used him so much. And on that note, is a suggestion. Why don't you just say something on the group that this group has helped you to achieve in the year 2024? Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for that. That means you are in spirit. So for those of us that group has helped one way or the other, put it on that group chat, on the Telegram, put it there, what the group or you've gained from the group or the idea you've learned one way or the other and it has worked for you on the group, please put it on the group. Then for some of us that are not in that group, I know you got this information from somewhere. That person that shared the information is definitely must be a member of the group. He can share the link with you, whether WhatsApp link or even if you're on WhatsApp and your case is still pending because the WhatsApp is already full of. We have over 1,000 people, and virtually on that platform, close to 90% of us were PhD holder all over the world, and we are all Nigerians. So you can see Nigeria, we are blessed. So please don't take that platform for granted. People have received a lot of information and their life has not remained the same. Over to you, Siri.
Hello, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Can I be here?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. So let me follow up on for what the last speaker has said. I want to appreciate God for this opportunity because without this opportunity, I have already.
I discovered that in the other world, the global world, what it is expected is this interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary connections. It is more respected when you have people working with you from different fields than just being the sole author of an article. So I've decided to start working, like I have somebody in mathematics. We are working together on relational understanding of mathematics using linguistic pathways. Look at such. The eco-linguistics, that is linguistics and climate. Right. So these are things we have. Then green literacy. There's something about green literacy that I've started. I've submitted the work yesterday. So these are things we have to do. We don't have to corner ourselves to one side. Like Dr. Iyasheve said, we have to open up our mindset. The only person that can defeat you is just you. So let us be open. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you to the presenter, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you for that.
Yes, sir. And also language entrepreneurship, that's what we are going. And also, I just work on a textbook in digital literacy. That's the textbook. I decided that for my students having a material, it is good I have a standard material instead of just giving them my knowledge without payment. So I've decided to put them in 12 chapters, 260 pages, and then still gardening money to get it published by OAUA Press. That is University Obafemi Awolowo University Press, so that it can give me credit. Then it can also give me money too for my knowledge.
Good.
So that's how it's
As
going. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, and this is my job too.
So,
yes,
okay.
sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So you can see that we are all loaded on this platform. Like I said, I just want to use this medium to encourage as many of us that are possible. Please, if I ask us now, evaluate yourself for 2024. We all have one excuse or the other not to even succeed. But now, this is the last day of 2024. Let's have a new chapter. Forget about the past. Let's just be a new person. Yes, the money is not there. Not everything is money, like all the speakers said. Let's try as much as possible your attitude, your writing, things you do on your own. Please, it goes a long way. Ability to learn. Just have that art to learn more. Put the question on the platform. If things are not clear, send the message. Don't send message of begging for money, but send the message for begging for idea. People will relate with you. Until when they trust you, that's where they can trust you with. I always tell students or tell people generally, don't ask for scholarship from home. First of all, let them see your impact, the way you want to approach it, your attitude towards things. Then people will now trust you with their own resources. If you don't do that, if you put the money forth, nothing will happen. But until we ask ourselves the right thing, and I pray God will help us. Where we are struggling, God will help and He will elevate most of us in the name of God. And I want to use this medium to also say, to thank all the presenters. I'll tell you the truth. We started this, the planning was, we started this workshop or this program, this presentation yesterday. I just called one or two. I just begin to make some contacts on the platform because I have so many engagement over the week, and I just have to. I was just asking myself, we must say something on this platform before we close the year, and that is. I just want to thank all the presenters. I can call any of us at any time. I'm not talking about those that are presented today. Even you can also be the tomorrow presenter. You can also present tomorrow. If you have any idea, feel free to share with any of the admin. We will organize something meaningful and every one of us will benefit from it. Please, somebody asks, don't hide your idea. Please don't hide your idea. As many as possible, be feasible. I can see some LinkedIn, people are putting their website there. Yes, it's okay. Be feasible. Let people be that person that impact life. Let people talk about you, that this is what we gain from you. Let's try as much as possible to encourage one another. I pray God will help us in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you so much for coming. And for those of us that are, probably you joined late, you came late one way or the other, the YouTube link will be shared at the end of this today. I'll try and make sure it's available. For those from our own side here, we are just waking up, and I know some of us were in the afternoon already. Thank you for attending. Thank you for that short notice for you to be there. Thank you so much. And see you guys in the next talk. Have a wonderful day. and have a wonderful evening. For those of us in the evening in Asia, thank you so much. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you so